Assalamu alaikum once again. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In trying to solve a problem, the first thing to do is to understand it, then the solution presents itself. As far as the human body is concerned, Allah Ta'ala has made the human body that it heals itself. This is a very important thing to understand. Think about that for a minute, that it heals itself. When you cut yourself, there's nobody coming there to come and repair it. You see the blood clotting to prevent the loss of blood. You see, the most we can do is to make sure that if the wound is too large, is to bring it close together so it makes the job easier. But the healing is inherent inside the human body. Your car doesn't have that quality. So if the mechanic does not put in the right part, it's not going to get better while it's in the garage. But the human body, it heals itself, and the implication of that is profound. The implication is this, that if you have an illness, it means only one of two things: that something is preventing you from getting better, or you're not giving the body enough building material to do its job. That's all. Nothing else. So what are the things that might prevent you from getting better? These are the toxins that are in the air, in the water. Now they want to put poisons inside the aquifers by what is called hydraulic fracturing or fracking. And they don't want to tell us what these chemicals are. This is the reserve of water, fossil water, that has been there for thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years. And they want to pollute it with chemicals. And they don't want to tell us what these chemicals are. What are these things going to do to us? So therefore, first things first, that is our rule. First things first. The first thing you do is remove toxins from your life. Make sure your water is clean. It must be filtered. There are certain things that cannot be filtered. You must do research and find out, because your family's health depends upon it. Water itself is a thing that we don't understand fully of how it works. It's got structure. It's got information. It is such an important thing that Allah Ta'ala told us, I have made every living thing out of water. So if you take the water out, or if you pollute it, you are going to destroy life. And that is what we are doing. Yajuj and Majuj are hell-bent on destroying the water supply of the earth. So first of all, make sure you are drinking. Now at our level, make sure it's filtered. And you get a proper filter. Okay? Then Allah Ta'ala told us, as far as our food is concerned, we are eating toxic food. So the toxic foods, I will give you 4 of them. There are plenty, but I will choose 4 of them that you say that if you remove this from your diet, it will make a big change for you. The first one is wheat. It's supposed to be the staff of life. But today, it is stuffing your life. And in more ways than one, it is causing diseases in your brain, it's causing inflammation of the heart, it's causing every disease you can think of. Today there are 144 diseases directly linked to consuming this wheat. And very soon they are going to be spraying glyphosate on it, which is Roundup. And this herbicide is so dangerous that it was banned completely in Sri Lanka at the end of last year. Why? Because people working in rice paddies suddenly started getting acute renal failure. And it was linked to the herbicide that they were spraying on the seeds. Their water is hard water, so there are lots of minerals. And a combination of this is fatal for the kidney, because a combination of this makes metals precipitate out, and it clogs up your kidneys. People were just, getting renal failure, and the government was astonished. It was traced to this herbicide and pesticide. So if you remove toxins, herbicides, pesticides, all the things that are found in food and water, that is the first thing to do. So don't look for trouble. The second thing that ought to be nourishing but is deadly poison is milk. This milk that we are consuming, the only thing that resembles original milk is the color. It's white. Nothing else is the same. Because this milk comes, it is pasteurized, it comes from cows that are fed things that they are not designed to eat. They are fed corn. This corn's ratio of omega-3s and 6 is completely different, which is reflected inside the meat and inside the fat. So when you eat this meat, it is dangerous for you. That is why they say red meat is dangerous for you. Not because red meat is dangerous, but because the manner in which this cow, innocent beast that Allah Ta'ala gave us for food and for nourishment, is treated. They are treated in feedlots where they give them growth hormone, recombinant bovine growth hormone. This is a genetically modified thing to make it fat because they sell it by weight. Then they give it estrogen. It accelerates the growth. Now because it accelerates the growth, they want it to produce more milk. It normally produces 1.5 to 2 liters. Now it produces 25 to 30 liters. Now the udder of the cow hangs to the ground and the udders are full of pus. Why? Because of the inflammation there. So now they have to give the cow 54 different antibiotics. And all of these are coming out in the milk. So when you drink that, you are introducing a toxin into your body that increases breast cancer in females and prostate cancer in males. Ever wondered why prostate cancer and breast cancer have gone up so much? It's from the milk, among other things. So stop the milk completely. That means you'll find it in, wherever you find milk, yogurt, cheese. Yogurt, we are told, but it's full of sugar. It's full of all kinds of toxins. We use strawberry yogurt. How do you think they make it pink? They take beetles and they crush the beetles and they extract dye from there. And you think you are eating strawberries. In the meantime, you are consuming beetles. You see? And the sugar in there. So the milk, you must completely discard. Yogurt, cheese, butter, cream, ice cream made from that milk. Now, if you get milk that comes from a cow that eats only grass, that is not given recombinant bovine growth hormone, that is not given all these injections, not given all, and the milk is unpasteurized, drink it. That is natural. It's not a problem. If you can find such a thing in today's age. Okay? So the only thing that is the same is the color. And they dare to call it milk. It's a completely different thing. We are living in such an age of deception where things, where a poison is called a food. You see? What about sugar? It's white, it's sweet, and it's deadly. Sugar, when sugar enters your body has got very, very profound defenses against sugar being let loose inside the blood. It raises your insulin level. When your insulin level goes up, there is something in your blood vessel, it's called nitric oxide, it's a gas, it makes it relax. Now the insulin stops that nitric oxide from being formed. Now your arteries can't relax, now you got hypertension. The sugar goes into your cell, the insulin, your cell, fat cells have got an entrance and an exit. The insulin closes the exit and opens the entrance. So fat starts entering but can never get out. So now you start getting fat because your insulin levels are high. Okay? What else does it do? It has got myriad negative things. It raises the inflammation levels in your body. And we know now that inflammation and oxidative stress is what is responsible for most of the diseases from head to toe. You got gout, you got inflammation and oxidative stress. You got meningitis, inflammation, oxidative stress. You got Parkinson's disease, inflammation, oxidative stress. You got a headache, inflammation, oxidative stress inside your arterial wall. Okay? Today, there is no doubt among those people who have read the research about the dangers of genetically modified food. Properly, it's called transgenic food. So transgenic food has been closely associated with liver failure, kidney failure, damage to the reproductive organs, so infertility rates are shooting up. Today in this country, in South Africa, 96% of the corn is genetically modified. As a GP in a rural town, I'm seeing infertility cases going up. As soon as they stop GMO, fortunately, if you change the diet a little bit and if they listen, after 3 months, you get changes in the blood. You see? So there are things that can be done. So if you want to stop eating anything to do with flour, bread, biscuits, cakes, pasta, pizza. You see? Fish and chips, because it's dipped in flour. If it has got flour in it, how much? Even a gram. It will initiate the whole process. Are there any people exempt from this? We used to think 1 in 110 people are affected. Then it became 1 in 60. Then it became 1 in 11. Now we realize everyone is affected. We used to think that it only affects the intestine. Now we know that there are extra intestine effects from the head to the toe, from this flour. Now they are genetically modifying it, which makes it even more deadly. You see? So wheat, leave it. Milk, cut it out. Sugar, no artificial sweeteners as well. I'm talking now the things that will prevent you from healing. And genetically modified foods. All chemicals, all man-made chemicals, they have no place in the human diet. So what must you eat then? There's only 50 nutrients the body requires. You must eat, and what is Allah Ta'ala's instruction to us as far as our food is concerned? Only 2 things. It must be halal and it must be tayyib. That's all. We all know about halal, but how many people have spoken about tayyib food? And what is tayyib food? Tayyib food contains all these 50 nutrients in the correct proportion, in the correct quantity. So if you eat tayyib food, you don't have to worry about illness, because Allah Ta'ala designed us, He designed the human body to take you from birth to death through its various stages in comfort and in ease. But we have brought this trouble on ourselves by believing Dajjal's propaganda. And the Yajuj and Majuj who are telling us that toxic things are food. And they are banning food. Real food. In America, they are banning whole milk that comes from cows that eat grass. They ban it. They send SWAT teams to your farm if you do that. But the toxic milk they sell to you, that's fine. So therefore, the world is now upside down. If you want to understand the world, sometimes I think to myself, whatever you hear and see, it is the opposite. Then it's better to understand the world. It's easier to understand the world like that. So what must you eat? Not only organic, but it must be beyond organic, because it contains the most nutrients. So you must start learning how to eat properly. That is a skill that you must acquire. People become streetwise to survive in the city. People develop business skills to survive in business. Well, this is a survival skill. So you must inquire yourself. Go to lectures, read books, because this is a vital skill that we will need in the next 30 years even more. And without this, they are going to pick us off like flies. Okay? So, human body heals itself. If you have an illness, it's only one of 2 reasons: taking in too much toxins, not taking enough nutrients. Cut out the toxins and increase your nutrients. And then, inshallah, The shifa comes from Allah Ta'ala, so you make dua to Allah Ta'ala. Hold on to the rope of Allah because we are in for a very bumpy ride for the next couple of years, okay? وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.